Hi there, and welcome back again to part two. Hi there, and welcome back again to my channel, Life and Inspired by Sase. You're here for part two. Get your popcorn, get your drinks, your tea, whatever it is, whatever part of the world you're in, if it's hot or cold, juice, drink, ice block, please just sit down and listen to the next bit. Now, this next bit, I'm going to be speaking about going to Nigeria, going back to Nigeria, and being in Nigeria. If you haven't seen me before, please can you subscribe? If this is the kind of content that you like, can you share? And can you like? Give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Thanks. Right. So again, I've got my phone here just so that I do not miss out any of the important things that I need to say. So basically, I was prepping to go back to Nigeria. My boyfriend was seeing me a lot more. You know, and we would see each other every day. We after work he would come to see me. We would plan, we would speak about long distance. We had rules and regulations, the things that we could not do, things like you cannot hang up on the other person even if you are upset, even if there's internet problem and you are angry with the Nigerian network. There were things like that that we had put in place. I remember I was a bit forward as well, just obviously, you're going to another country, and sometimes we all know like our personality traits. This wasn't me being forward and they're pushing, oh yeah, when are you going to get married? This technique does not need to work for everybody, but if you can already see that what you have going is already leading to marriage, there's nothing wrong in sort of just you know just asking the question, oh, when do you think we could start, looking to get married? Because bear in mind, you're going to another country, you need sort of have an idea in your head. So we then sort of, had a rough idea of the year, and we're like, okay, this year, okay, how about we do maybe the summer in the year, or we have put that in place at least so that we both knew what we were working towards, and also knew that we're both serious, so that storms will come. Yes, we know for sure. Can you stand the rain of long distance? I got to Nigeria. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, I've got a boyfriend. There's no stopping me now. I get to law school. I was, my roommate was savage. The babe, if she saw anybody moving towards me like this, she would start blocking them. Come, this person is married. Don't come near. Girl, thank you. God will find your own too for you and your people that will secure you so that nobody will mess about with you. So I remember that before I went back to Nigeria, my husband and I, boyfriend at the time, we had a lot of spiritual foundations also put in place alongside the rules. So we went to different churches. After we'll come back from church, sometimes he'll pick me from church. When he picks me up, we're in the car, we are discussing. He'll pick me and my youngest brother, and then we'll be in the car. We'll say, oh, what did you learn from your own church? What did I learn from mine? We'll discuss. We had principles that we shared with each other. So we're really, really building on the foundation that was Christ. We had told each other that there was no physical aspect, no kissing, nothing. Like literally, we had already told each other that this one, we are going to, if this is it, we are going to make it right. Do you get? So we're like, yeah, we're being savage. Please, we have not come here to be holier than thou or anything. Bear in mind, we've both come from a past and everything. And when we get into, obviously, I will still obviously get into a bit more detail that's relevant to the video. So I know that there was another thing that we used to do. It's called monthly encouragements. We called it that. And actually, basically what it was I actually did something similar with my siblings before with, an older brother, uncle, sort of figure in our lives. He sort of brought the idea to us, and then I just built up on it in my relationship. So basically, what monthly encouragement is, if you're looking, this is an amazing tip for, married couples or even friends, or just, if you're dating, you want to take something on board. This is basically, so how we structured it. I listed it. Initially it was A, B, C, D. As the years grew, we added E, F, G. A stood for I am thankful for. So what are the things that you are thankful for in your relationship, that we were. So a lot of times life and law school that I had gone to, and even him just being on his own. Because bear in mind that since he started dating me, we were always spending every single day together, planning our lives. So this person has now gone to another country. you would almost like be thinking about what do I really do with myself. So we're always on the phone with each other and everything. So A stands for what are you thankful for. So we'll say what we're thankful for. We'll make sure that life did not get in the way. Even when we're upset about something, there was always something to be grateful to God for. So that was section A. We'll prep beforehand every single time at the date of our anniversary every month. Anniversary, I can't remember what date it was. I think we started dating maybe the 28th, I can't remember, or the 5th, I don't know, can't remember off the top of my head. That day every month we'll do monthly encouragements. It also helped us to be on track. It helped us with communication as well. So the B section stood for I like that you. So you call it the person's name. So I say I like that you do this X, Y, Z and everything. And it's just a way to just appreciate the person. This is not something you're thankful for. This is now something that you're making. If your love language is words of encouragement, which it is one of my love languages, it will just be perfect, and just to appreciate the person. Now C section is almost like the B section is preparing you for the C section. C, not C section. Life of motherhood. If you know, you know. So section C is talking about you will be better if you. So it's almost like constructive criticism, but it's not really you did this, I don't like that you don't say it that way. You just say it in the way that you will be better if you did X and Y and Z. Do you get? So these are things that maybe you didn't really like that the person did, but you are saying it in a way that it's not attacking the person, and then the person has a time to respond, maybe in section E and everything. These were the times that we now grew the sections, because somebody like me, when you have told me that I'll be better in something, I would like to tell you, okay, this is why I justify myself and everything. So and then I think section D was our relationship will be better if we. So these are the things that we could build on in our relationship, communication, if we needed to read more books, if we needed to be closer. There were a lot of books that we read together as well, and individually as well, from your 5 love languages to what I knew before I got married, things I knew before I got married, or something like that. Lots of these books that were out there, we read them together, we took quizzes together. We just wanted to know each other a bit more in different settings and scenarios. Bear in mind that we had only physically been with each other for like 3 months before I had to, be in each other's vicinity and presence before I had to move to and relocate to another country. So we used to do a lot of things just to get to know each other. It was like love is blind. What was, is it love is blind? You sort of get to know the person until you now finally say, okay, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this person. After section D, section E will be is you are better. No, you have improved in this area. So maybe you spoke about that, oh, you'll be better in this area in section B last month. If the person has improved, please tell them. It's not every time criticism, and they also like to know if they've actually improved or not. I think section F was something that is very difficult for me to say, something I find very hard to actually tell you. Maybe something about their family member that you know that they hold quite dear, and it's almost like a caveat to just say, please, oh, I'm coming with dagger, but the dagger is in love, and it's not dagger for fight. It's like, please, this thing hurt me, or I felt this way about this, and it's been really, really hard to say. Or, oh, I felt like you supported this person over me. This is something that I've taken so much guts to pull up and to say, and I just want to just tell you how I've mustered so much courage to tell you this thing now. Please don't take offense and everything. And the person now has the right of response to say, oh, okay, I didn't know you felt this way, etc., etc., etc. So those were the monthly encouragements. We did it every single month. Come rain, come shine, come law school, internet connection, come no lights. Even when I felt like I remember times I would go and sit in my car so that I could be brutally honest, because obviously in law school I shared an accommodation. So I remember times I would just walk into, like, I'll just be walking around, pacing around, or maybe go to some of the halls, like dining halls or ironing hall, just so that I could be open and just share my mind, because there was no point doing this exercise if you are not going to be open. So that was all that. I remember I came back for my graduation, which was a great opportunity to come back and see him. So that was a month after I started law school. But before that, this was something that we both did. We said we were going to fast dry for 7 days. I don't know if you are fasted dry, you. The only thing that we could take was water. Day 1, day 2, day 3, they see the gear up, the pressure was getting worse. I going to look people when they go Mami market for law school. I was in Abuja campus because obviously I was by one, I came from abroad. Then, my friends, they will say, I'll even follow them for stroll, for walk, so that I'll not be bored in the room. Say, let's go to Mami, they will buy drinks, I'll be looking at them like this. I'm like, Jesus. I think there was sometimes the thing didn't really do me, because I'll just be telling myself that, okay, after the 7 days, it will not leave. I really get my, I hear small Yoruba. So you'll probably be getting 1 or 2 of the the language in vernacular. Anyway, so that was amazing. It strengthened us. Remember, just to know that there was somebody else on the other end of the world, on the other hand of the phone, they're doing the exact same thing as you. To just build this relationship. It was for us. It was not for anybody. Nobody forced us to do it. No pastor said you have to do it 7 day dry, this one. Nobody. We were the ones that said we want to commit our relationship and our lives to God. We've put a lot of things in place. Physically, let's put the spiritual aspects as well in place. We will pray every Sunday. We carried on. Remember that in part 1 that I told you that we used to, when he picked, or maybe it was in this part, when he picks me up from church, we'll discuss what did we learn. Again, we now turn it into like a Bible study. So even when we won't discuss, we'll probably discuss what we learned from church, but we'll also bring in our own plus prayer and everything. And guess what? It then became a thing, because my roommate and my flatmates now started joining our Sunday Bible sessions. It was so amazing. It just worked so perfectly well. There were times that the enemy was just not nice. There were times that we try to discuss about our future, and I used to think that this guy, anytime that I'm getting to the night, is getting to nights like this, he likes his sleep. He'll be telling me that please, he has to go to bed, he has work tomorrow. And I'll be thinking, what happened to the days of midnight conversation? I don't think he was aware of midnight call. My husband is not Nigerian, he's Ghanaian, so maybe at the time we used to do midnight call in Nigeria, I don't know whether they used to do it there. And actually, he spent most of his life outside of Ghana, so there was no way MTN was in the other parts of the world that he was. My husband will actually come, and there will probably be a Q&A where you guys can actually ask him questions. You can actually, speak to him about, his own side of things. How did he know I was the one? How did he pick me? What were his thoughts? Things like that. If you want to get his own perspective, that side is going to come. So I remember I used to just think that, so if something is happening to me in the night now, this one that likes to sleep like no man business, now he will not answer me. But that was never the case when we got married. I remember I used to sit there thinking, this guy, he used to think that me is when the night comes, that's when I want to ask all the deep questions. I did not ask it in the day. So he just used to just think that, who is this night owl? So we didn't really used to get on with those kinds of things. Well, again, these are all speculations. I must also say that the things that people have gone through in their own relationship, they will try and sort of reflect it on you, or try and give you advice based on that. Please just know that you are a different individual. Those people had their own experiences. 1 or 2 things might overlap. You can take things with a pinch of salt, but don't carry it on your head and start fighting the other person and start saying, are you sure you're not going to treat me this way? I heard that men normally treat their women this way. I heard that any small thing I say, you say that I'm nagging. I heard that. So you now start portraying it on the person. And the person is like, please, I'm not like that. And in actual reality, you might actually later find out that the things that you actually thought you are borrowing, that my mom would say, you are borrowing problem from the future. You have not entered the future. You have not entered that part. You are, yes, nobody says you should not take advice. Take it with a pinch of salt, but don't come and carry it on your head and start portraying it on the other person. And they are not normally like that. They will now start questioning themselves that you are a different individual. You married another person. You are married. You are going to marry somebody else. You people really write your own love story. So that was that. Nigeria, there was this guy that was just mess. The guy was just, oh hi, my roommate will be like, please, she has a boyfriend. Oh, but she doesn't have a ring on her finger. And this guy was like, oh, I really, really like you. I was like, hey God, what is going to happen? The guy, he didn't look bad. He actually looked okay. But I was like thinking, I'm building something. I don't want to come and spoil it. So obviously there was a bit of pressure on that end. And I remember telling, again, openness, communication. I remember telling my boyfriend at the time that this guy, he's really, really, moving towards me. And I think he said I should meet him up in one place. My boyfriend said, you are not going to that place, that restaurant. You're not going. And everything. So I was just like, okay, and everything, no problem. I think at the time I was sat in my car. I think it got to a point where I think I started calling my best friend to actually, seek her advice or just speak to her about it, and she wasn't picking up. I felt like I was alone. I started crying. Oh my God, it was some intense thing. We fast forward to externship time. My boyfriend at the time, now my husband, came to Nigeria for the first time in his life. He found me, he came. He said, this girl, I must make sure that I come and I lock you down. And he came, and it was an amazing experience. I showed him Nigeria, as in the good, the bad, the ugly, the market, the high class, the hotel. If I could go to another part of Lagos, and he literally genuinely legit asked the question, are we still in Nigeria? I'm like, he said there is a different air. Me and my dad looked at each other like, so this one, come on, don't come and abuse our Nigeria for us. But yeah, that was amazing, And then after law school, I had such an amazing time with him. We were able to plan the wedding together. We were able to do so many things together, just rekindle our love. We were so, so happy. I introduced him to my friends in Nigeria. Amazing. Fast forward to after law school, again, that was another opportunity. So bear in mind, I had gone back for my graduation. I went back again before Bar 1. And then he came to Nigeria the year after, during my externship, before my externship. And then after law school, I now went, that's after Bar 2, I now went back to England to visit. So when I had gone there, that was when he now proposed to me. Oh my God. It was the best thing ever. Bear in mind, I was coming back from my call to Bar, so with my wig and gown, I might probably insert a picture or whatever. I had my bling on. The bling is not pregnancy, as this is the scar of the bling, so that you know that the bling is a permanent. It's there, it's around, but yeah. So yeah. So he proposed to me. That was amazing stuff. I mean, it was everything that I ever wanted. We started marriage counseling. And actually, no, we didn't start then. I took my law school picture and I made sure that my finger was showing with my ring on. I went back to Nigeria. I got called to Bar, and I just stayed for a bit, practiced a bit, did one or two things, went to baking school, etc. And then I went back to England on my birthday, which is 27th of January. So went back to England and literally started planning the wedding from January till we got married in July. Tell you, if you have any questions about the wedding, if you want us to film a video together, if you want me to film a video about getting married in 2 different countries, in Nigeria for traditional and England for the white wedding, and then we also did the court wedding here as well. We actually had 3 different dates that we got married. First, the one that we did with the court, the local council here in England, the traditional where we did in Nigeria, Benin City, where I'm from, and then the third one where we did the white wedding here in England, in my church here in Leeds. So if you do have any further questions, if you have anything to talk about the counseling, if you want me to do a separate video about, I would probably, talk about these a lot more, but I just wanted you to just be aware of the journey that it took to and I hope that you've to getting married to the love of my life, my soulmate. I hope you've actually learned one or two things. The monthly encouragements, the communication, the not putting another person's problem on your own spouse's head. If you want me to go into a bit more detail, or let's just see how it goes, I can actually film another video more on that. Well, thank you so much for watching this one. I would keep you updated as to if there's a part 3 or if it would just be called something else, getting ready for a marriage, marriage counseling, the wedding night, life as we know it now, marriage. And obviously that's my life now. I got married to the best man in the whole wide world. This guy blew my head off. I mean, let me also insert here, just so that I don't have to carry it over to another video. I remember I had a lot of dreams, and there was this one dream that was linked to where he actually worshipped, his church. That street, I remember being in that dream, and I drove down that street, or I walked down that street. I didn't know him at the time. And in this dream, there was this guy. He had a brother. He was everything. I woke up from that dream, like, my heart was beating. It's as if I had found my soulmate. I couldn't see his face properly, but he was everything in that dream, and it was along that line of that church, that street. So when he actually told me he goes to that church, at the time I didn't put two and two together. It was the spiritual aspects, the physical aspects, the Thailand aspects from part 1, the lady pastor that knew me, there were just so many things that were coming together that I was just like, please, this person was brought by God, from God. He came to Nigeria, it was just everything confirmed by the Holy Spirit. If you need guidance from the Holy Spirit, God is your plug, is your cue. He will guide you into all truth. He will show you everything. My husband will do a Q&A. Please send in your questions if you have any, and just from his own perspective as well, what you guys want to know and find out. And along the lines, we'll also discuss a lot of things about our marriage. Many things that I might have forgotten will come up. And yeah, yeah, just stay tuned. Don't forget to thank you so much for watching and for listening to this girl on the green chair. If you do have any questions, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.